extra time.
Mishti Kotha, Bengal's newest taste of sweets.
There's a fog also, how struggling smoke is.
The fog, like I said, the weather's been magnificent. It's not too hot. It's pity there's no breeze, but obviously not perfect with the smog. But it's the same for both teams. It's not perfect. It's not ideal, but it's nothing we're going to complain about or moan about. We've just got to get on with it and make best do as we can.
So Saqib and Tamim, what will you plan for this match?
No Shakib, no Tamim.
What will be your plan?
The plan, well, we've got a group of 15 players and we're confident in each and every one of them. There are obviously two big players to replace, we know that. A lot of experience. But with that comes opportunities for some younger players. So guys like Naim, Afif, Saikat, Shomo. We've got some really good players who can replace those type of players. And whilst that is disappointing to lose them, it does give an opportunity to some younger players to try and stake a claim and become senior players within the team.
Do you miss Saqib?
Anybody would miss Shakib. He's a fantastic cricketer. He's a leading all-round in world cricket. The players look up to him, so he's obviously a big loss for us. There's no doubt about it.
Coach, half the team was wearing masks while practicing. So, does it concern you the air quality in Delhi, especially when you are playing here? How the players are reacting?
Look, it's obviously, like I've said, it's not ideal. It's not something you'd want, but there's nothing we can do with it. It is what it is. We've got to make sure that we prepare as well as possible and we deal with it as well as possible. Thus far, for sure, we've had some scratchy eyes and maybe a little sore throat now and then, but it's been okay. It hasn't been, nobody's been sick or dying, anything like that. We've been okay with it. Obviously, you don't want to be in it for 6 or 7 hours. So 3 hours a game that we'll play in and 3-hour practice sessions is probably as long as you'd probably want to be in it at the moment.
Coach, would like to know that the Shaki ban. My question is that once he comes back after a year, how does the dressing room treat him? It's not that it has been proved that he has not indulged in correct practice, but since it has been a mistake, after that, does the dressing room get a bit jittery when he comes back? And how do players in general react? Does the respect remain the same for the player who has been an icon?
Well, number one, a year's, in cricketing terms, a long time. I haven't even thought about it, about how Shakib gets integrated back into the team. It's not something that's even crossed my mind. I don't think it's crossed any of the players' mind. For sure, there's a lot of, when I say he's been a big player for Bangladesh and he's been very close friends with a lot of the players. So it's obviously affected some of the players and he's made a mistake and he's paying the price for it. There's not too much else we can say about it. It's nothing that we can control or something that affects us too much at the moment. It obviously affects the team in terms of his performances, but our mindset and our focus has got to be entirely on the team and our preparation going into this important series, leading into a World Cup a year away. So our focus is entirely on this series and preparing for the World Cup in 12 months' time.
Niru?
Coach, just want to know about, from the coaching team's point of view, how much of a change of plans and, or Shaki Jackson's brought in, plus the fact that you'll be playing white ball, red ball, then pink ball match, everything is happening pretty quickly and there's a lot of planning to be done. So how, and the changes that have been brought in, how difficult was it for the coach?
It's very tricky because obviously Shaki bats number 3 and he often opens the bowling or bowls first change. He bowls 4 overs every single game. He's one of our leading batters. So you've got to decide, do I replace the batsman or do I replace the bowler, because it's very difficult to replace both. There are not many players who provide you with both skills. So you might find yourself short in one department and strengthening the other department, or then strengthening the other department and weakening the other department. So it's very much depending on the conditions. If you think it's a flat wicket, you probably want to strengthen your bowling. If you think there's a little bit in for the wicket, you might want to strengthen your batting. So it'll be very much dependent on the conditions we play on, and there's I don't think there's anyone earmarked who's specifically going to do Shakib's job. Everybody's going to have to contribute and try and fill up his numbers as best as we possibly can.
Super. Mike?
Does that make sense? I understand.
First, you said Shakib is the best all-round player who the boys will talk to. What was the reaction in the dressing room when they came to know of this? Was it like a shock, disappointment, that they feel betrayed?
Yeah, look, I think everyone was a bit disappointed. End of the day, I don't know if I should be talking too much about it. It's not really my. I've been here for a month and I've known Shakib for a month, and the relationships the players have with him are a lot deeper than I've got with him because I don't know him very well. I've worked with him for a month. But the players speak very highly of him. They've all got a lot of respect for him. They've all admire the way he goes about his business, his performances. And like I say, no one's perfect. He's made a mistake and he's got to pay the price for it.
And just with the air quality that you are going to be training, is there a medical advice given to you on what precautions you need to take? And have you made any special arrangements to, prepare for any contingency?
No, we haven't. We know that Sri Lanka struggled with it last time. Look, I suppose the players in Bangladesh, there's a bit of pollution in Bangladesh as well, so it's not a massive shock to the system as maybe some other countries would maybe experience. So the players have dealt with it really well. They've said, it's smoky, but let's get on with it and practice. They haven't made too much of an issue of it, and the coaches haven't either, and we just got to go about our business as we normally would.
Coach, so Virat is not there in the Indian team, so it gives an advantage to Bangladesh, or is it the same with Rohit leading the side?
Look, there's no Virat, there's no Shakib, so there's an advantage for India with no Shakib, there's an advantage for Bangladesh with no Virat. They're two fantastic cricketers. But look, it would have been great if Virat was playing. You want to play against the best players in the world. If you ask all the Bangladesh players, they'd love to test their skills against Virat Kohli. So it's disappointing that he's not playing. It would have been great that he is, but you fully understand with his workload and the amount of games he plays. As a coach, you're glad he's not playing. The players probably want to test their skills. We know he's probably the leading batter in the world. But if you want to beat the best, you've got to play against the best. So it is disappointing that he's not playing. But it is what it is.
Coach, we have been happy at trialing this new pink ball in a T20 game or some other games for trying it in the test match.
It would have been great to play maybe a 2-day warm-up game with a pink ball. I know my time in South Africa, we played a pink ball game in Adelaide, but we had a 2-day warm-up game with a pink ball leading into that test match. And that was a bit of the concern with some of the players, that there's only 3 days between the first and the second test match, a travel day, 2 practice days. So there's not a lot of time to prepare with it. I suppose it's the same for India, but that is a challenge that we are faced with at the moment.
Can you dwell a bit on this challenge you just talked about?
In terms of adjustment.
Yeah, look, it's a difficult ball to see when you're batting, particularly in the phase between sunset and dark. That is in the phase when batters have struggled the most. I know guys really struggled against wrist spinners because it's difficult to see the seam. The seam's not as pronounced as it would be with the red ball and a white seam. That's our experience we had with it last time. The management of the ball seems to flake a lot easier, gets softer and seems to break up a little bit more, and only does a little bit of shape or swing for maybe 10 or 12 overs and then seems to lose that. And then, so there's a lot of challenges to the pink ball that some of the players haven't been facing yet.
After joining you, the Bangladesh cricket board, you just finished one season and that season starting from the 3rd November. Yet you didn't got how involved in the series and the series. So do you think that you'll get him next series or in the future?
Hopefully. He's spending some time with his wife who's giving birth, and that's fully understandable. It would be great to have Tamim because I haven't worked with him before. I've had a few cups of coffees with him and I've had a few chats with him, but I haven't seen how he goes about his business yet. So we're a year away from a World Cup, and those type of players, important to get that connection with those senior players. So I am looking forward to having him for the series. We're playing Pakistan. We don't know where we're playing it, but we are looking forward to having him in that particular series.
Last question.
Coach, you clearly said that you have to just play 3 hours of the game and 3 hours of practice session and not much in these conditions. Perhaps in Delhi, particularly when there are emergency situations of air pollution. There are also plans and requests that have been made to PCI to shift the venue, but particularly asking to Bangladesh, team that will you play over health at this particular venue, and will this condition struggle the health of these players in this case?
Look, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm only a cricket coach. So, it's obviously, like I said, it's not ideal. Your eyes get a bit sore, your throat gets a bit sore, but we just gotta deal with it. That is what it is. It's unfortunate. I think it's probably very difficult to move a game a day or two before a big fixture like this. So we're not complaining. We just got to get on with it. We're not sure what it's going to be like when the lights are on. We've checked the forecast for the next day or two, and it seems to be getting progressively better. So that's a plus. Look, it hasn't been great, but we're okay. We're fine.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.